Okay. Maybe we just want to make the picks. All right.
Yeah, I have an idea of where I'm going.
Let me do a quick scour. Giants Broncos is 40.5.
You think it's a lot?
No, I think that's seems like very little. But I guess they're just assuming the Giants
You
aren't going to score.
you keep taking Broncos over.
I know. I know. And then the other team can't score, and I wonder why I take them. To be fair, you took it last week.
Oh, that was me. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, their spread.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Keep
that
taking them.
again.
It's projecting there. Bad.
Oh, and we have a London game. That's why. I just feel like there's less
Hmm.
games. All right. I think I know what I'm going with.
All right.
Give me 2 seconds, or we should be good to go. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna get started in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Pretty for Chill, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing pretty well, Chris. We are doing Sunday before the games, so hopefully you have a chance to listen before we preview all of the NFL games. I want to shout out the background. Change up the background. Yeah, I wasn't using the green screen anyways, so it looked pretty stupid being back there. But now I got a South Carolina signed jersey and Peyton Pritchard signed jersey. So,
Love it.
anyways, people who are having the audio only are confused, but that's okay. Um, let's break it down. So NFL Week 7. We're gonna take our wise picks. We have come together already. Normally we do the wise picks before. We're gonna switch it up a little bit, see if it betters our luck, just doing it right off the dome. And but we do have the touchdown parlay ready to go. And just to break that off right at the beginning, we're gonna do Bill Krosky Merritt minus 115, Jonathan Taylor at minus 175, Dallas Goddard plus 260, and Roma Dunze at plus 110. It comes out to be plus 2100. So I think I think we're good on that. I think we're
I feel like
due
that's
for one.
about where we usually sit. We are due for one.
Yes, it is about where we normally sit. And yeah, I guess if Jonathan Taylor just for some reason doesn't, um, I could make the case for everyone else. Like, you know, Dallas Goddard was looking like the best Eagle last week on Thursday.
Hmm.
Roma Dunes, they should have had that one against the Commanders. They called back, so they were looking for him in the end zone. And then Bill is just Bill. He's been moving and grooving. So um, hopefully this
They
works out
also have
for
no
us.
Terry, no Debo,
Yes.
so somebody's have to get in the end zone.
Yep. Um, should we just since we don't have their wise picks yet, should we let's just start with our games. You already mentioned it. No Terry, no Debo. Washington Commanders versus Dallas Cowboys. How you feeling about this game? It's plus you're plus 1.5. Over is 54.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like this game could turn into a shootout with the way that our defense has played against good offensive teams, and I think the Cowboys getting CeeDee Lamb back is not great for our secondary. So, I mean, it's kind of the same story with our defense every week, where it's if we can get pressure, then they're going to make an impact, and if not, Dak could throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately, that's kind of what I expect to happen. So it's going to need to be one of Jaden's best games, uh, probably his best game of the season if they want to stay in this thing. And yeah, he's going to be thrown to be a lot of Ertz, a lot of Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane, I guess. Like they just they don't have bodies out there right now. Definitely don't think they're gonna get blown out. I think it'll be a close game, but definitely a coin flip, and I think the line reflects that.
Sounds like some good confidence. With all your wide receivers out, there's a there's a chance, Chris. You could have rolled over here. Now it seems like you're fighting for your guys, so I love it.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
it will be
It was
interesting to
five
see.
with five at quarterback. I think they always have a chance.
It's true. Is Traylon Burks going to be elevated for this game? I mean, why else would you sign him?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I
That's kind
think
of
he needs
disappointing.
another
I
week.
wanted to see him. Some about like I just have some sort of belief. Like he hasn't, normally these first round picks go to a couple different teams before they officially get out of here. So we'll have to see if he can make some plays here on the Commanders. I hope he gets elevated.
Yeah, I don't think he's a
Um,
needle mover. I mean, he'll play.
yeah, I don't think he'll be a needle mover, but it would be like just interesting to see him in a new team and see what he can do. Um, I'm surprised no other veteran wide receivers got a call. I guess there's not a ton out there. Um, with your wide receiver injuries, you guys looking to make a trade before the deadline or
I doubt it. Because they expect like Terry's been week to week for like 4 weeks now.
yeah.
You got to figure that his is not long term. It just feels like it is because every week we do this dance. Noah Brown's on IR, so he's out at least another 4 games. And then Debo, I wasn't expecting to be out, so I don't think his is long term either. Maybe they will, but I think they'll probably just stand pat. I mean, McCaffrey has been like got a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, Luke.
Problem
I want to
is
see
he's
him get
only
more
good
than
for
like
a game.
2 targets a game.
Yeah. In all fairness, the Bears touchdown he caught was just a total busted coverage.
Well, and so is the
That
50
was like the
yarder
only
really
play of
from the
the game.
Chargers. It wasn't a touchdown,
Yes,
but the 50
that
yard
was a good
catch.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can get, I mean, he can, and he's been shifty on punt returns, and kick
Yep.
returns. So maybe he can get some
I
action
mean,
here with a lot more targets.
him or Jalen Lane is going to have to step into that Debo role where they're like feeding him the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes. Yeah,
So
one of them's
that'll
going to
be
have to.
it.
Any trust in Chris Moore? There was a couple
Chris Moore
Commanders
made a
fans.
nice catch, nice
He did.
touchdown catch last week. He also had a really bad drop. So I
And
mean, he's like any of the other guys that are on the roster right now.
with CeeDee Lamb coming back on the Cowboys side, is that I mean, you're already worried about the offense. I'm guessing that just doubles it down.
Yeah, it's not great news.
No, it's a bad week for him to come back for Commanders fans. That's the game of the afternoon though. It seems like I mean the Cardinals Packers should be decent too if their offense can produce. Oh, and the Colts is also that time.
Yeah,
Um
Colts Chargers is good.
yeah, that's a good game too. Both -1.5 spreads. Um all right, to my team, this is gonna be my first wise pick. The Pats haven't done us wrong all year, it seems like. So I'm gonna take it
Yeah.
-6.5. Last time it was a big spread. Um, they blew out the Panthers, and
Yep.
the Saints game they covered that spread as well. So even when it can get tricky and get hairy at the end, the boys have been covering. So I think that this is another. It's not like it's not the only thing I'm worried about is the interim coach bump. It seems like every time there's an interim coach that
Mhm.
comes in, the guys play harder and they end up winning the first game that he plays, even if they never win another game. Um, but this Titans offense has just been so bad. They don't have Calvin Ridley. Um, it's still the same players on the team, and the Pats. Like this is another. It's not like a real test, but I'd like to try to win by 2 scores, like, try to show that we can really beat up on the bad teams. So, I like -6.5. I think that there's a chance that we see another blowout like we did in the Panthers game. I don't think it'll be that egregious, but I think the defense, especially the running attack, for a rookie quarterback is gonna be the Pats haven't allowed a 50-yard rusher all year. So, um, I think having that against a rookie quarterback, making him throw the whole time will be beneficial for the Pats. And Drake May has been looking awesome. So let's see a couple of other long touchdowns. And Pats -6.5 is my first wise pick.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's you could almost argue this pick without even talking about the Pats and just talking about how bad Tennessee has looked this whole season.
Yep.
And it just feels like things get worse and worse every week for them. Where like the first couple of games of the year, it's like they're hanging around. Defense is a little bit frisky. Cam Wars, his receivers are kind of making them look bad, and now at this point, 6 weeks into the season, they're just a total dumpster fire,
They
and
are.
it doesn't feel like there's anybody with a pulse in the NFL that couldn't beat this team by at least 7 points.
It is. I was surprised by the spread. I'm surprised it wasn't 8.5. Surprised it wasn't even close to 9. But I love it. I love it at
I
six
guess
and a
because we're
half.
on the road, it
Yeah. Yep. On the road. Still
could
like,
be at least 10.
yeah, definitely at home. It would be at least 10. Um, this shout out my former roommate Riley. This is always our Super Bowl kind of 'cause he's a Titans fan. So it is I am excited to watch this game. Um, and and I hope now that I pick and I'm taking the pick, I hope it's at least, one score comfortable lead the whole time.
Hmm.
Um, all right. Well then, Chris, what game do you want to go to next for your first wise pick?
So all week I've been thinking the Jags in London.
Oh, we're
I
taking a
Rams
London. I
without
was gonna
Puka.
say maybe we shouldn't take a London game.
That's what I was thinking that too. So like that's why I feel wary about it. Um, I think I'm going to avoid that one actually. I am going to avoid that one. I do like there's something about the Jags in London and the Rams without Puka that definitely intrigues me, but I still am not a Jags believer and um yeah, these games I don't think we should be messing with these games anymore.
I agree. To do a little preview on that because it's going to be starting in 30 minutes here, but um the I do think the Jags are going to need a turnover or two to win this game. First week,
Yes,
last week
which
without a
they've had no
turnover.
problem getting.
Yes, yeah, they can. Yeah, and they last week was the first game that they haven't had a turnover all season, and they got whooped by the Seahawks. So
Mm.
they really need to turn over the ball from Matthew Stafford. I think that's going to be a difficult task. Rams do always play down to their competition though, so maybe if the Rams even do win, it's a close game, closer to the 3. Um, but yeah, I think we should stay away. I think that's the goal here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next game, I love the Browns. I think I have this picture in my head of the Browns winning this game and then McDaniel getting fired.
Okay, I like it. Minus
The
two and a
Dolphins are
half for the
just
Browns.
finding ways to
Surprising.
lose games.
Yes, they are finding ways to lose games. It's a surprising spread, um, especially when
That's
you
why
look
I
at
think
it.
that's why I like it.
Yeah, yeah, you gravitate towards those, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
The it'll be it's like when was the last time we even saw the Browns being favored? And looking at this game in
Certainly wasn't this year.
looking at this game in like August, I'm sure the original spread was probably Dolphins -6, -5.5. Um, so
Yes.
it's probably a huge change. And yeah, I don't think there's any reason to trust this Miami team. I think Quinshon Judkins is gonna run all over them.
Yep.
And the I don't know how Dylan Gabriel's gonna look, but he looked decent in that first game that he played. So just have him that he can't throw 52 times. If he throws 52
That's what I'm saying.
times, the
If
Dolphins are gonna
he plays like he played against Minnesota,
win.
then I think they win this game no problem.
Agree. So I like the Browns minus 2.5. Um, I think it's a tricky spread that's going to confuse a lot of people, and I'm sure there's a lot of money on the Dolphins, so I like it.
There is a lot of money on the Dolphins. I did look at that
Y-
beforehand.
Yeah, and I can't trust this Dolphins team. They have even when they get off to a hot start, they can't hold on. Even when they come back late, they can't hold on. So I'm not as you said, they find ways to lose these games. So I like it.
Yes, they do.
All right, I'm going another -2.5 spread. I'm going Eagles -2.5 at the Vikings. Carson Wentz revenge
Oh, the
game.
Wentz revenge game.
Yep. I'm not scared of Wentz. The Eagles need to get right. They need to like not like their fan base, I'm sure in the grand scheme of the NFL they don't need this game, but for their fan base, they absolutely need this game. And they've looked bad the past 2 weeks. Um, even though being up against the Broncos, then blowing it, and then really just never in that Giants game. They the Eagles need to win this game. And I like -2.5 versus Carson Wentz. Um,
Yeah, I think this is certainly an inflection point in the Eagles season because if this game goes off the rails, then there will be widespread panic. Um,
yes.
and if the Commanders beat the Cowboys, then they'll be in first place. Um, but yeah, I do think like it just feels like this Eagles team is too talented to lose to Carson Wentz. If you're just doing like simple like guy off
Yep.
this Eagles defense. Clearly is not the defense from last year, but the mini buy from last week helped. Like you could almost just throw that Giants game away as like Thursday night divisional game. Weird things happen. I think that's what you have to do when if you're an Eagle fan and you're trying to move on and still believe in this team. So I definitely don't think the season's already shot, but there will be panic if they lose this game. Jalen Carter's playing, right? That kind of changes their whole defense when he's out there. We've seen
I
it
think
a
so.
couple times now this season where he's been out and they do not look the same at all.
Quinshawn Mitchell is good to go. Um, Jalen Carter is still questionable a day ago. He's expected to play though.
Okay. Yeah, he practiced 3 straight days, it looks like.
My Eagles correspondent Mike said the Giants game reminded him a lot of the Jets game around this time in 2023, which was their first loss this season, and Hurts looked awful. And he said we all know how the season finished. Hopefully they can learn from this. So I think against Carson Wentz, they should be able to learn from this and really take it to him. I know that defense is good. It's tricky. Everyone loves blitzing, or the Vikings love blitzing. Um, they need to get Saquon going on the ground. He hasn't been good all year, it seems like, and I think they're going to get a turnover or two from Wentz, so that'll be in
Mhm.
their favor.
Yep, I agree.
All right, what's your next one?
I'm jumping to primetime games.
Okay,
So I'm gonna go to Sunday night, and I like the Niners. I like the Niners at home, coming off of a loss uh, against a really good Bucks team. They've got Atlanta coming into town. They've got some of their guys coming back. I think Kittle's playing. Um, and is Purdy getting the start, or is it Mac again? That looks like Mac. Um, the only thing that worries me in this game, I think, is the Falcons pass rush against a banged up Niners line. But we've seen the 49ers win a lot of games this year already when it feels like they have nobody out there. I think getting Kittle back is huge just for as far as having another offensive weapon and another blocker. Um, I think there's a lot of people out on the 49ers after watching Mac Jones in the 4 o'clock slate last week. Um, but at Tampa Bay against pretty good defense, I'm not gonna completely bury them after that. Especially considering all the praise that we just gave the Bucks. So I like this spot for them. I think Atlanta's playing a little, they're outperforming their talent a little bit right now. So I think we kind of see a correction there.
This is a tricky one. I think that the offensive line is going to play a huge role here for the San Francisco 49ers. If they can't block the Falcons, who have had a good pass rush, we're gonna see Mac Jones that we saw last week. And when Mac Jones has had time and had the offensive line, he's thrown for a lot of yards. He's looked really good. Um, I do think Kittle out there will help, especially with the blocking too. That was a good point. Um, I like it. I like it. I think that there's probably another one where there's probably a lot of people on the Falcons here, a lot of money on the Falcons. Um, and
Admittedly, there are a lot of people in the Falcons.
yeah, so I think that you're bucking the trend. This is how you win, Chris. This is how you make these picks. This is how you win. So
Well, I got screwed by the Lions last week, so
you're
now
doubling
I'm
down.
basically taking my entire methodology on this.
Um, and Falcons were just in prime time, shorter week for them. They were on Monday. Um,
We're on Monday.
they had to go to California, which is always seems weird for the East Coast teams to go to
Mhm.
California, and the other way around. But yeah, I think the 49ers they kind of need this too to stay alive in the division race, especially if the Rams lose this morning. That'll be a big game for them. So I like the Niners. I like the Niners minus 190,
Thank you.
of course. Um, all right, my last game. Speaking of stinky lines and weird picks, I think I'm going with the Carolina Panthers minus 1.5 versus the Jets.
Because I'm a sicko, that was the Jets one. I was like, oh, I really want to take the Jets again, and I just could not do it after what happened a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I don't know. Like you have to be truly sick in the head to have any trust in the Jets.
Yes, and like they did play the Broncos close. It was a weird London game. I like what the Panthers been doing the past 2 weeks. I hope Rico Dowdle is the feature back because he's just looked that good. I think he deserves it. Um, they are getting Chuba Hubbard back though, so their offense is getting better. They're getting Coker back. Everyone, the Coke heads out there are pretty excited. Um, so I think I think this is like I'm just going against the 0-6 Jets. I think that's a good strategy here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um, it really does feel like the line should be Carolina by more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't like say anything good about this Jets team. So I think I would take any team in the NFL to beat them right now.
And I think like one of the part of this pick too is like if I lose on red hot Panthers team with a ice cold Jets team hasn't looked good since week one, then so be it. I'll bite the bullet.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, weird stuff does happen in the NFL all the time, but
Yep.
the yeah, I'm not putting my faith in the Jets, and I think the Panthers is gonna be a good day for them.
Yeah. I like it.
Thank you.
All right, my last pick. You're welcome.
Also, real quick, the Jets just having a good defense is that's just a myth. That's out the window. That's been busted, right?
Pretty sure. I mean, we thought at the start of the season that that was going to be their strength, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think you can take away anything from the London games.
agreed. Agreed. All right, last
Based
one.
on our conversation Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever we did the last pod, when we ranked our top 5 NFL teams, we got in a bit of a tiff about the Lions, where you have the Lions on your list. I had the Bucks low compared to you. Conveniently, we get that matchup on Monday night,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ride with the Lions. Big
All right.
number, minus 5.5. But I think it's bound to happen for Tampa the way they've been playing with fire in some of these games. Um, got a lot of injuries still. Not a lot of pass catchers on this team. I don't think they're going to be able to put up the amount of points that we've seen. It's going to be a zoo in Detroit. They're coming off of a two-score loss. Kind of a letdown spot there for them. So they're going to be fired up. Um, So yeah, I love Detroit in this game. I do still think that they're the best team in the NFL, and I think they proved that Monday.
It's it's just hard to bet against Baker.
It is hard to bet against Baker.
It is it won't be fun for you, I don't think. Even if they 'cause I think that they'll
Like
I think
watching
there's
the game.
yeah, yeah, just watching the game
Yeah,
because Baker will do something cool and you will not you
yep,
will sadly can't be excited.
I'll appreciate
Um,
it.
but it's a good spread. The Lions secondary is pretty banged up though. Tampa Bay is getting Mike Evans back. Um, but just Mike Evans out there is much easier to cover than him, Ibuka, and Chris Godwin. So just having Mike Evans will be isn't the end of
Yes.
the world. And I think he's still questionable to be honest. So I don't know if he's playing or not. But yeah, I mean there's a lot of injuries on the Buccaneers side. The Lions I think need this game more than the Buccaneers do. And
Yes, I use it.
I think
That
that's a good
that's the
factor.
key thing. Yeah.
Yep. So they're at home. They're not if this was in Tampa, I would highly advise against it. But the Lions
Yep.
are at home. So yeah, I mean, I think they can win by a touchdown. I think it's definitely possible.
Is it the thought of anybody going into that building right now is pretty scary to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, what's the money looking like on this? Do you know?
A lot on the Bucks.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing it's the whole week's based off this trend.
The
I
whole week
like
is
it.
based off of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
Okay.
have the quasi Wise Bowl
Yeah.
midnight.
Yeah. I think so. I think one of us had to pick this game, and I do. I like it. I think I of course like Tampa more than the Lions, but um I think at home much needed game for the Lions.
Mm.
They could take it by a touchdown for sure. All right. Well, those are our wise picks. We will recap them all at the end of the episode. To get into some other games that we haven't talked about. Chiefs Raiders is the first one that I see that we haven't talked about. Um, ugly game. It seems like the Raiders always do play them a little closer than 12 and a half. So that's a big point spread. But the way that the Raiders been playing this year, I don't know how you could trust Geno Smith and the Raiders offense to to keep it within 12 and a half, honestly. The way that the Mahomes has been
Yeah,
looking, the way that um, the Chiefs have been looking, I don't know how you could do it.
yeah, it does kind of feel like a spot, like a good spot to take a big divisional underdog, just because of the history there, and Chiefs coming off a pretty emotional win last week. Um, yeah, again, like putting hard-earned money on Geno Smith, the way that team has looked in every game outside of Week 1 and the Titans is not something I'm interested in doing, I don't think.
Oh, neither am I, and especially with Rasheed Rice coming back, the Chiefs have already scored
Yeah,
28 points the past
full
three
strength.
games. So, and and even in their losses, their offense hasn't looked bad. So I don't, especially don't think that they're going to win the Raiders, and 12 and a half would scare me. I would just stay away, honestly. But
Yep,
I
I'll
do
be
see
doing the
I
same.
do think a world can happen where the Chiefs can blow them out for sure.
Yes.
All right, and then we have the Oklahoma University Bowl um, of Spencer Rattler versus Caleb Williams. Um, it's funny because
Yeah.
neither of those
The
guys
OU
stayed on
legends.
Oklahoma. Yeah, I was gonna say it's fun. Yeah, but it should be. There's a chance. I think the Saints can win this. I think it's definitely a chance that the Saints can win this. Being at
I was intrigued by that number
yeah,
because like the Bears coming off that win, I thought there'd be more juice on the Bears. But the Bears, I think, I don't want to say Monday night was their Super Bowl, but it might have been. I just
it
again
was
with the Saints, it's like I don't know how much I can keep betting on the Saints,
yeah.
even though they
I
did be
agree.
right against the Giants. But like at some point, I think I just got to draw the line.
I agree. They're still one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Bears defense did not look great on Monday night. They had turnovers that helped them out, and they're another turnover heavy defense where without a bunch of turnovers, um, their defense isn't that good. But yeah, I just like I have the Rattler bias. I want the Saints to win, so I uh I think I would like if I were to bet, I would lean towards the Saints, just the spread. I mean, maybe the Bears can win this by
I was
3, but the yeah, it's gonna be a weird game, and I think like if any game that Spencer Rattler is gonna be um just even more up for than every other, then it's got to be this one, right? Like he's gotta try to
against
prove.
Caleb.
Yeah, yeah. He said that they asked him about him and Caleb's relationship. He said it was cordial. It was a very practiced answer, it
Were
seemed.
they wait? Were they on Oklahoma at the same time?
Yeah, Caleb took his job. Remember the
Oh, that
student
was
section?
Rattler.
Yeah, the student section was chanting "We want Caleb" after one interception, um, in in one of their games versus I think it was West Virginia, and yeah, so there's some bad blood here, I think, and
I
I'm
remember him
sure that
coming in for somebody. I didn't realize that it was Rattler.
yep, yep, and yeah, he was Rattler was the number one recruit. Um,
Yep.
it was a tough
Or
season
it
for him.
was.
Luckily, it ended up with him in Carolina, so it worked out. Um, but the yeah, there's got to be some animosity. There's got to be some anger there,
Yeah,
and
gotta be.
you want to. I'm sure he wants to try to prove that even though he was the fourth round pick and Caleb was 1-1, um, that he can ball with him, and he has been this season. To be fair, he's been keeping up stats wise with Caleb Williams all year. So yeah, hopefully the Saints defense and their offensive line can hold this out for him.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like they're gonna be able to move the ball at least, right?
Mm.
I definitely don't have any faith in the Bears defense the way that they've looked so far. So I don't know. I feel like this game either way is coming down to the wire,
Agreed.
which again
That's
is
why
probably
the
going to
four and
cause
a half.
some panic among Bears fans.
Yep. And I think the four. That's why I like the 4.5. Um,
Hmm.
where Chicago can win by a touchdown or win by a field goal, and we're good to go on this. But yeah, I actually kind of like the over in that one too. I think both guys
Yeah, I
should
don't
be
hate that.
slinging it. Um, down to 4 o'clock games. Maybe the best game of the day, at least the day, not
Colts.
the night game. Yeah, the Colts Chargers. I think that we'll learn a lot about both these teams. I'm shocked that the Colts are underdogs here. Felt like after
Hmm.
the past couple weeks, they shouldn't be underdogs to anybody. Um, but I like the Colts, and the Chargers have been like they squeaked out to get that win against the Dolphins. They really should have lost. Um, and their offense finally got clicking towards the end of that game. It just moved to 2.5. Colts 2.5 now. Literally as we're doing this. So that means some money's probably coming in, right, on the Chargers. That's normally how
I
that
guess
works.
so.
Yeah, I like it even more now with 2.5. The the Colts they've been doing their thing every week of the NFL season so far. Um, and
Finding ways to win.
yes, finding ways to win. Well, running the football, using Tyler Warren, playing solid enough defense to squeak out the win. And the Chargers they've had a couple good offensive games. They've had a couple bad offensive games. I think their line is getting healthier. So that's a bad sign for the Colts. And they finally started getting Lad McConkey going, which is a bad sign for the Colts. But with I think Quentin Johnston is back, right?
Yes, he's playing this week.
So that's another bad sign for the Colts. Um, so it could go either way. The line represents that, and um, yeah, I don't know. Something about the Colts though I like.
Yeah, I really do think this game is a coin flip because I the only thing that scares me about the Colts is like if we get a one score game with 5 minutes left, like I want the Chargers. Like I want the ball in Herbert's hand. I don't want it in as great as Dan has been. I would much prefer Herbert in a close game. But if they can if they can take control of this game at the start, just get Jonathan Taylor going, which they've had no problem doing, um, kind of take advantage of a Chargers offense that's looked a little bit choppy the last couple weeks, then I think they'll be perfectly fine. So I also wanted to stay away from this one because I do feel like it's a really is a coin flip.
And it should be a fun game to watch. I think the over
Yes.
definitely hit too. Only 50 points between these two good offenses. Um, so I like that play as well. A
Yeah, I
stinky
don't think
game next up is the Giants Denver Broncos. I think I mean
it's
the Giants
stinky.
are just due to come back down to earth. Same thing like the Chargers game next week against the Saints, they lose. Um, Broncos defense has been so good all year, and I think they're gonna get after Dart. They're not gonna let Scatabo run all over him, and it should be a come back down to earth game for the Giants fans out there.
I think it's a welcome to the NFL game for Dart.
Yes. Yeah, he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get hit a lot. So he's either gonna have to be super elusive or just have the pocket presence to avoid as much as he can on the sacks, but they're gonna come after him. And
Yep.
they made the Jets. I mean, the Jets make themselves look incompetent, but they made the Jets look really incompetent over in London. Um, they shut down the Eagles in the second half of that game that they just played. So it's a should be an easy Broncos win, honestly. Part of me wanted to take the 7.5 for the Broncos, but they screwed me over last week, so I didn't touch.
Averaging 5 sacks a game.
That's insane.
Outrageous.
That's a crazy number.
It's inflated by the 9 that they had last week on Fields, but
Hmm.
still a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. They won't get 9 sacks um
I wish for me.
on Dart. I don't think that's possible for really any other quarterback besides Justin Fields. But the I think uh I think that they're gonna look rough, especially with no wide receivers out there. um, for the Giants. So it's going to be hard for them to move the ball. It's going to be a lot of Scatabo, and I don't know how successful he'll be against this front.
No, I think they're in for a rude awakening. It's
Agreed.
going to be an ugly game to watch.
Yes. Yeah, unless Bo Nix and the Broncos look super competent on offense, it's going to be a not a it's not going to be a red zone game. There's not going to be a lot of it on red zone, and there will not be a lot of memorable plays. I don't think from this game. Maybe defensive plays, but um, all right. We got you guys down. Packers Cardinals. Is Kyler Murray playing?
It's
I
a
don't
good
know if that
question, actually, because
I don't
I
know
was
if that
considering
hurts.
taking the Cardinals, um, just because the Packers have not looked like the Packers that we saw earlier in the season.
Mm,
Um, yeah, Brissett's playing. I don't. So the backup quarterback thing, I feel like when the backup quarterback comes in and has a really good game, like he did last week against the Colts, the next week is always brutal because everybody's like, "Oh, is Brissett actually better than Kyler?"
yeah.
And then they just look like a dumpster fire. So that worries me a little bit with this Packers defense. They could use a game where like they just dominate an imposing offense.
Hmm.
Um, kind of feels like the Cardinals are right for that right now.
Yeah, they they could use a game on both sides where they dominate on offense and defense. So I think this could be a little get right game for them. Um, it is. You have a good point about Jacoby Brissett. He's due for one game, and then he's not due anymore after that. So it is.
I don't think so.
I don't think he'll look as good as he did last week. Um, but he definitely got the pass game going and got it going more better than Kyler Murray has done in since he's come back from his injury, basically. So it'll be interesting to see. Like if they keep it close, like it's a greater Kyler Murray conversation, I believe. Um, where we get into the future of him here on the Cardinals. Um, I don't think they'll bench him for Jacoby Brissett the rest of the year, but it's a greater conversation about the offseason, I
I'm
guess, for
alive.
the yeah. Um, all right. I like that. I think the Packers do minus 7.5 is a good that's a good pick. I think it's a good line. Um, all right, and then we just had the last Monday night game. Seattle versus Houston, 10 p.m. on Monday, Eastern Standard Time. And it is I don't know what to do with this game. Both defenses have looked really good. Both offensive has had looked shaky at times and then also good at times. And really the Texans only really looked good against the Baltimore Ravens, where they had a shit ton of turnovers and the defense was getting Swiss cheesed out there. Um, I this is stay away. This is stay away.
I agree.
And
I think you could talk yourself into the under just with how good the defenses are and like if Houston's offense looks like what they did before that Ravens game, then like not scoring more than 10 points in this game, especially
agreed.
against a real Seattle defense. I do think this is a stay away. I just the Texans, I don't know what to do with them because they had that Ravens game and then they went on bye. It's like it feels like we haven't seen them play football in like 4 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, not a competitive game.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do with them. Seattle does feel like a trendy team right now.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like this would be a rough loss at home against a team that I do think that they're better than. Um, I'm a little surprised they're not laying more points, to be honest. I thought 3 was a little bit low.
Yeah, I could see this as like 5.5 maybe.
That's where I thought it would be. So that's intriguing to me. But I will almost certainly be in bed for this game, so I'm not going to bet on it. It's too late.
I would like
Too
if
late.
you were to take this game, I would take the money line. I think the Seattle Seahawks money
Uh,
line would be the better way
Seattle?
to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I do think they're gonna win. I think that their defense is that good for a shaky Texans offense. So
Hmm.
it'll be it'll be an interesting game. I think it will be back and forth. But I like Seattle um taking it at home. Like, and it's funny, they haven't been as good as home at home recently than they have been in the past.
Yeah, kinda like
And
the typical 12-10 thing.
no, they've been better away, surprisingly. So,
Mhm.
but I think a night game always changes that up. I think you need to add some points for a night game.
So that's another aspect of this game that's interesting is a night game, but, like, a real night game because their
Yeah.
night games usually start at 5:30.
Hmm.
7 o'clock, like, a little bit later, a little more time in the parking lot,
Oh yeah.
so, like, that changes things a little bit, which makes me like Seattle.
Agreed. Well, and the last time, I guess that wasn't the late Monday night game. Um, I was just thinking about the Texans Buccaneers game. That wasn't, I guess that was still night for the Texans, but that place
Mm,
was loud. The place was roaring.
yeah,
So I do think that Seattle fans will be out there for it. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of Houston fans that make the trip over there. So if there is, I don't
yeah,
know if there's a lot of traveling Houston fans, to be honest. So
I don't think there are.
yeah. Um, so I like the Seahawks money line here. I think that would be the play.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Is there anything we haven't missed any games, so is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, I don't think so. We're, right at the buzzer here for the London game.
Yep, the London game should be starting by the time that this is uploaded. Um, just a quick college. Carolina might be done. I think they already were done, but they looked
We're done
terrible.
too, so
Yeah, I saw
lost
that. That was
UCLA.
a heartbreaking loss. That was bad. Scored too quickly at the end there.
Yeah.
That was a weird. That was a late game too. That ended around 11:30, right? 11.
I'll be honest, I forgot they even played.
It was very
I'm in a tough
strange.
season right now with my sports fandom. I had a rough week last week, so I've been pretty checked out.
That's fair. It was so weird though to see UCLA Maryland conference game. Um, I thought that was so weird, and I looked at my dad and I was like, "Is there a single Maryland fan there? Like, is there like who, especially if you live in Maryland, like who's
Well,
flying to California? Like, I guess just to take a vacation to Los Angeles, but
and UCLA's attendance is so bad too. Like,
Yeah,
did you see the storming the field against Penn State? Like 12 people.
and like rightfully so. Like, I mean, they were terrible at the beginning of the season. They were supposed to be good. Um,
Yeah, and they've been terrible for 10, 15 years now, feels like.
it's true. That's true. Um,
Yeah, they're hot. They've won 3 in a row in the Big Ten.
yeah, good for UCLA, and that's the interim boost. That's the real interim boost.
Yes. Yes, it
Because
is.
they haven't lost since their head coach got fired. So um, that is pretty cool for UCLA. But it was a strange to see the Terps facing
The
them.
optics are weird, yeah.
Yes, especially they were wearing like their old uniforms, where it's like a little bit duller colors and no names on the back. And I was like, oh, you got to wear this
Mhm.
for like UCLA. Like you can't wear this for Maryland. But yeah, South Carolina got stomped by Oklahoma. I'm going up next week to see them play Bama. That could get ugly.
Never know.
No, you never know. That's what I'm
We'll
hoping
get
for.
up there.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. A lot of injuries, but it's unexcusable offensive play calling. Um, Shane Beamer was getting salty and mad after the game when people were asking questions about changes. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's getting to the point where there might be a greater conversation about Beamer sometime in this
Ready
offseason.
to ship him off to Virginia Tech.
I would rather keep him just because of his recruiting, but he really needs to
Mhm,
get a real offensive coordinator here. Um, Shula, who I thought was going to be decent, has been terrible all year. Even in their wins early in the season, they've just looked ugly on offense, and there's really not there shouldn't be a lot of excuses for it.
mhm.
All right,
You wanna hear another wacky college football matchup? Now I'm just looking at the scores from yesterday. Virginia and Washington State.
yeah,
That was a game that was played in October.
that's a weird game for sure. Who won that game?
UVA did by 2.
Oh, that's a bad loss for Washington State was they were going to make some noise if they kept winning, but that's a bad loss for them. Um, we had a secret scrimmage in basketball for college. We beat Georgia Tech, so that's a good sign.
Nice.
Um, I
I
uh
love
I, I'm
beat
already
Georgia.
I'm already ready for the college basketball season. I'm excited for this team. It should be fun.
Yeah, I'm ready to.
The how's the buzz? What's the buzz with Buzz over here in Maryland?
I mean, we lost one guy for the season already, which kind of sucked. It wasn't supposed to be like one of our best players. So I haven't heard too much. And honestly, I'm not putting any stock in anything that I do here because all these guys are new. So like, I have no idea what they're gonna look like against real teams.
It's true.
It's one of the more odd seasons of basketball that I can remember.
Year zero.
Literally year zero, like totally new team. Actually, it might be year one because it is his own team.
That's true.
There's no
Yeah,
like old pieces that he has to like keep around for one more year. Like they're all his guys already, which
that's fair. That's fair. But no,
is wild.
I mean, wasn't a there. Do you guys have any freshmen, or is it all transfers?
No, we have Darius Adams is a freshman, which was actually a pretty big signing. And then I feel like there's at least one more guy. Let me look at their 24/7 page.
There's a lot of new guys for South Carolina too. A couple returning guys with Michi, and then some guys from the last season. So it should be a fun season for South Carolina. I think that I mean, they were projected to be the worst team in the SEC again, um, which was what they were projected in 2022 when they made the Final Four, or not the Final Four, the March Madness. So
Yep,
it should
that's fair.
I like people doubting Lamont Paris. I think he likes the people doubting him too. Um, and I always believe in Lamont.
No choice either.
Huh?
You got no choice. You got to believe.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, I don't have a choice, but yeah, I have always liked him. Um, what's the update on that? You got any other freshmen, or
They had
is it just
two other kids. This guy, Alex Alston, who I think was from like somewhere in Europe, and this other guy, Zaya Harper, but they're not needle movers. Darius Adams was the big freshman signing.
I did hear about him. He was a top recruit, right?
He was, yeah,
So that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
He was gonna go to UConn, I think.
Oh, that's a big grab then.
Yeah,
There's something buzzing with Buzz, I guess. All right.
palpable buzz.
To recap the wise picks before we go. I have Patriots -6 against the Titans. I have the Eagles -2.5 versus Carson Wentz revenge game. And then I have the Panthers -1.5 versus the 0-6 Jets.
And I have the 49ers -1.5 against Falcons. I have the Lions -5.5 Monday night against the Bucks, and I have the Browns -2.5 against the soon-to-be coachless Miami Dolphins.
So we have the London game just started. We also have the touchdown parlay, which I need to bring up. We have Dallas Goddard, Bill, Jonathan Taylor, Roma Doomsday. You have plenty of time to make these picks. Hopefully, you get to hear it beforehand. Happy gambling to everybody, and we'll see everyone on Tuesday.